For millions of years, humans were wanderers, living as hunter-gatherers, always on the move. They followed migrating animals and the changing seasons, carrying only what they needed: stone, wood, and bone tools. Their knowledge of nature was deep. They could read animal tracks and knew which plants healed or harmed. Small bands, rarely more than a few dozen, cooperated to survive, sharing food and responsibilities. There were no kings or priests. Leadership was based on skill and wisdom. Life was a constant dance with nature, each day filled with hunting, gathering, tool-making, and storytelling. Their diet was diverse, their skills broad, and their lives less monotonous than those of later farmers. For over 2 million years, this was the only way of life humans knew. There was no concept of owning land or planning for distant futures, just the next sunrise, the next hunt. But then, in a few places, something changed. A simple grass began to tell a new story, a story of settlement and surplus. This grass was wheat. The world was about to transform. The age of wandering was ending. The agricultural revolution began not with invention, but with small, accidental acts. In the Fertile Crescent, hunter-gatherers collected wild wheat and barley, sometimes spilling seeds near their camps. Over time, these seeds grew into accidental gardens, plants with bigger, easier-to-harvest grains. Humans unknowingly selected for these traits, becoming agents of evolution. Gradually, they began to clear land, protect crops, and eventually plant seeds deliberately. Farming was born, not overnight, but over centuries. Early farmers worked harder and ate worse than foragers, but farming produced more food from less land. This allowed populations to grow, making a return to foraging impossible. The agricultural revolution was a one-way path. Wheat cultivation trapped humanity in a new way of life. The world would never be the same. The seeds of civilization had been sown, and there was no turning back. Why did wheat change everything? It was a concentrated source of energy, packed with calories for hard labor. Unlike meat or berries, wheat could be stored for months or years, creating a buffer against hunger. For the first time, people could plan for the future and survive lean seasons. Wheat was adaptable, spreading from the Middle East to Europe, Asia, and Africa. It became the foundation of great civilizations, Egypt, Rome, and beyond. Its combination of energy, storability, and adaptability made it irresistible. But this promise came with a price: endless labor, a narrower diet, and a life tied to the land. Still, the security of a full granary was too tempting to resist. Wheat became the treasure on which early societies were built. The age of abundance and its burdens had begun. Cultivating wheat meant settling down. Fields needed constant care, so people built permanent homes, villages of mud brick houses. Life changed, possessions accumulated, and the idea of home became a fixed place. Land ownership emerged, and landscapes were transformed. Forests cleared, streams diverted. Villages brought new challenges: disease, sanitation, and crowding. But surplus food allowed some settlements to grow into towns and cities. Places like Jericho and Çatalhöyük became centers of early civilization. The journey from wandering bands to walled cities began with wheat. Surplus unlocked the door to complex societies. The humble stalk of wheat reshaped the world. Farming surplus freed people from daily food gathering. For the first time, some could specialize. Potters, weavers, toolmakers, and traders emerged. Specialization led to rapid innovation and cultural progress. Society became a network of interdependent experts, not just generalists. Managing surplus required new roles: administrators, priests, and soldiers. These people didn't grow food but organized, protected, and distributed it. The farmers' wheat now fed not just families, but the structure of society itself. Governments, religions, and armies all grew from this surplus. The age of specialization had begun. Wheat was feeding more than bodies, it was feeding civilization. Surplus wheat created power and hierarchy. Those who managed the grain, priests and chiefs, became leaders. Priests claimed divine favor, collecting harvests as offerings and storing them in temple granaries. Temples became economic centers, feeding artisans and scribes. Warriors emerged to protect the surplus, evolving into kings who demanded taxes for defense and luxury. The palace and temple became society's pillars, funded by the farmers' labor. A social pyramid formed. Farmers at the base, artisans and merchants above, rulers and priests at the top. This hierarchy was new. Hunter-gatherers had no such divisions. Wheat reordered society, creating rulers and the ruled. The agricultural revolution built the first-class systems. Power, wealth, and inequality all grew from the granary. Wheat changed not just diets, but destinies. Farming brought a reliable but limited diet. Hunter-gatherers ate a wide variety. Early farmers relied on wheat and a few crops. This led to nutritional deficiencies, anemia, stunted growth, and worn teeth. Farming was grueling, repetitive, and hard on the body. Crowded villages brought new diseases and epidemics, worsened by poor sanitation and close contact with animals. Life expectancy dropped, and health suffered. The agricultural revolution let humanity multiply, but at a personal cost. Civilization flourished, but individuals paid the price. Wheat domesticated humans as much as we domesticated it. The paradox: progress for society, hardship for the individual. Wheat shaped not just diets, but culture, language, and religion. Planting and harvest cycles defined calendars and festivals. Ancient religions centered on agricultural gods. Stories of rebirth mirrored the grain's life cycle. Our language is filled with farming metaphors. Breadwinner, reap what you sow. Empires like Rome controlled populations through grain supplies. Bread and circuses kept the peace. Wars were fought for wheat. Empires rose and fell on its abundance. The surplus built pyramids, funded philosophers, and fed armies. Civilization's achievements rested on the farmer's field. The story of wheat is the story of civilization itself. All of history's grandeur was built on humble grain. Today, wheat is the world's most widely grown crop, feeding billions. Ancient fields have become industrial megafarms, and harvests are managed by machines and satellites. Wheat's global trade shapes economies and politics. Bread prices can spark revolutions. Nations like the US, Canada, and Russia export grain worldwide, connecting continents. But our dependence on wheat brings new challenges. Industrial farming strains the environment and our health. Modern diets heavy in refined wheat contribute to obesity and disease. We solved hunger, but created new problems of nutrition and sustainability. The pact with wheat, made 10,000 years ago, still shapes our world. Wheat gave us cities, science, and art, but also hierarchy, disease, and toil. As we face the future, our relationship with wheat remains crucial. The journey that began with a spilled seed continues. Wheat's story is humanity's story, unfinished, ever evolving. The next chapter is ours to write.